Crazy Shaman gonna be first up over for the team 2. Charging out is Jayhawk, meeting him head on the bridge. Is gonna be immediate root totem down as Crazy Shaman alternates into a fiery elemental. Jayhawk is gonna have to harness the powers of Arcane and try to see if he can fight through Crazy. It's swift intro, but Crazy doesn't quite connect like he wanted to. Big damage on Jayhawk, building up quite a lot of pressure onto Crazy. Got himself a wall, trying to see if he can maybe play it back a little bit as Jayhawk got himself plenty of shields. Big knock and a root comes out. It's Crazy trying to see if he can control the position as well as trying to see if he can play the King of the Hill together with his bridge. If he can control the top side, he'll be golden. Trinket off the polymorph. I don't know if you're necessarily willing to do that, but it's going to be Lava Burst getting sent to Jayhawk, feeling the pressure, feeling the flames. It does go in for the Ice Block as Ice Sphere comes out for Crazy. It's just going to be a lot of instant cast opportunity, especially if he got himself Lava Burst sending in. He got himself Earth Shocks, Frost Shocks. That's going to be lots of control, ton of damage. If you can remove shields from Jayhawk, he'll be in a golden spot. Jayhawk trying to see if he can reposition, but the roots are going to stop him. Has himself a Blink Wits and a Blue Moon, but as long as he doesn't have any movement speed, he might have a hard time really trying to see if he can get himself out of that situation. Got himself plenty of defenses right now, looking for a little bit of the health recovery, but Crazy not giving him the line of sight whatsoever, trying to see if he can play around the pillars as best as possible. Jayhawk finally does get to escape, gets to break away, and Crazy Shaman assumes his rightful spot at the top of the bridge into a lasso as he jumps after Jayhawk, but doesn't want to go too far from the ramp, expecting for Jayhawk to blink in. There goes the breath. Polymorph to follow. Jayhawk needs to get himself a good setup. Got himself a big touch of the magic. Does he maybe get himself any decent damage to follow? Missiles right after. Could potentially go into a Arcane Surge as well just to back his damage up a little bit more, but with his lack of mobility, unless he can blink around the corner and establish some kind of pressure, it might be a little bit more difficult. Lava Burst getting sent in. Try to see if he can freeze the Shaman. Doesn't get to do it, but Jayhawk's health is not doing all that good. He got a down on him. Arcane Surge to follow, but Earthshock does end up collapsing before the spell can leave the man's fingers, and Crazy Shaman does end up to take him. Rifty gonna be up next. The thrifty Rifty trying to see if he can get himself a go versus Crazy. Breath to follow Poly, but before that can happen, it's gonna be a big old knockback by the Shaman. I don't even know how you escaped the breath just now. It's gonna be a Trinket out of the Mage, trying to see if he can reposition, but the Totem not letting him go anywhere whatsoever. You're stuck in the same place, but at least he's got himself the all the time, so if he takes any damage, he could always reposition back towards that side of the ramp. Rifty trying to see if he can just go for that hit and run, trying to stay mobile. Big blast of damage and Crazy has got himself the combustion. I don't know if it's real combustion or just a random one. Meteor dropping in by the Earth Elemental. It looks like Crazy trying to see if he can counter fire with literally molten flames on fire of a volcano. Got himself a bit of the Guardian. Big damage on Rifty. Might have been a bad spot. Could be an Ice Block. Trying to see if he can just shed all of the shields from Rifty. The man is going to have the Cauterize proc very soon, but Crazy is super low too. Rifty, before the Cauterize can happen, does pop in an Ice Block, but gives Crazy an opportunity. Recover some health, establish Ice Fury. Now you're set to go for Earth Shocks, Frost Shock combos, as well as Lava Burst. You're in a good spot where you can just run and use instant cast just to deal with Rifty fairly easily. Sending in the Lava Burst, that's going to be biggest sentence. Got himself the proc he needs a couple more of those ices, but it's going to be Earth Shocks to follow. Rifty does activate the ult time to keep himself alive, but not really put himself in a great position. It's Crazy trying to see if he can resume the top side position. A true firefight, literally a firefight, Mike. I do agree with you on that. As Rifty playing up to his strength of mobility, he's trying to play into those instant casts, but so is Crazy Shaman. Like Lasso, Rifty does have himself the trump card. Has he got himself the survivability? Breath onto Crazy as he jumps off the platform. Rifty needs to go for recovery as soon as possible. Doesn't get the chance though. Looking for first aid, can't really sit down for food whatsoever. Crazy Shaman pushing in. I don't even know if Rifty can do in this situation. Trying to see if he can send a couple of Pyroblasts in. He had Kobashi coming back up, but only at the very end of it all. Sarber gonna be up next as an enhancement. Shamans with knock for knock as both Shamans send each other flying with this elemental mastery, as Crazy Shaman does end up getting some unfortunate wolves biting on his toes, biting on his paws. With Sarber charging back in, it's gonna be roots to follow. If Crazy can use the tools of control to get the Shaman off of this platform, then go back with those Earth Shocks, Frost Shocks, he can establish just the ultimate pressure onto the enhancement, making sure that he can't reach him. And Sarber might want to bank up a couple of Maelstrom charges just to make sure he always got a bit of a trump card once he gets separated away from Crazy. Earth Element to join him, gonna be yet more knockbacks. It's gonna be plenty of opportunity for Crazy to just dominate and just control Sarber as best as possible. It's gonna be the Totem down as he flings away the Earth Elemental as well as the enhancement Shaman, but he's able to catch up up with a ghostly charge, the feral lunge fairly quickly. Roots are gonna separate him in again. Wall as well as Guardian available for Crazy. Got himself full Ascendance. Gonna be opportunity for Sarber to maybe can he get himself an Ascendance of his own. He needs to Storm Strike a target if he can. Burrow to follow, try to see if he can close the gap. Knock up into Crazy Shaman, knocking him away from the bridge. That actually might be the play right now. Like Alassa try to hold him in place. Trinket to follow with a Sunder right after. Crazy trying to see if he can knock this Enhanced Shaman off of his back. That's the Elemental. Trying to see if he can get himself a bit of recovery. Interrupt on Sarber, who just didn't have the Maelstrom, but still needs himself a little bit of healing. That's Crazy. Got himself Lasso. Back on top of the bridge. Perfect opportunity for knockbacks. Earth Elemental still in play for Tarber. So at least he's got himself a little bit of the defense, a little bit of that survivability as healing surges are continuing to refuel and back up to full. The man is trying to see if he can find himself a way to close the gap here. Definitely needs something, anything, everything. Sky Fury down, big lava burst flying in. Got himself big heroes and big Bloodlust right now, but the man may not be able to maximize the value of the Bloodlust with Crazy just keeping him at bay the entire time, ruining him, knocking him around. Quick interrupt to follow him. This needs himself a little bit more damage. Yet another totem is going to be able to break the distance needed in order to break the tether of a light lasso. Sarber trying to see if he can go for a little bit of a hiding behind the pillar, but Crazy Shaman got himself perfect line inside of the guy, just trying to see if he can get himself over there. Sarber needs the Maelstrom in order to be able to make his healing even more valuable. Trying to see if he can go for a Sunder, doesn't quite connect with Crazy, as Crazy got himself Lava Burst sent in. Like a lasso, I think it just might be over. It looks like he is going to be able to zap him down. Does end up taking him out. With Crazy looking for the next competitor, it is going to be Langer, the Affliction Warlock. Freezing immediately. Langer just needs to establish some dots onto Crazy, and if you can do that with the UA together with Agony and Corruption, just maintain those dots, he'll be golden. He does have a pet, Fell Hunter joining in. Crazy Shaman is gonna have to pay attention to both the Warlock as well as the Fell Hunter. Full stun, Soul Rot, potentially could be just a full Dark Glare combo. There it is. Crazy Shaman might be in a bad spot. He does have a wall. He could go for the Dark Iron Racial to remove all these dots. He's not in a great spot right now. Trying to go for heals. Looks like the healing is doing quite well. Even a 35% dampening, able to catch up. Guardian is getting used as he is under a ton of pressure. Needs to use everything he can just to survive this. Root onto Lang. Doesn't quite connect with an intro, but it's going to be a perfect opportunity for Lang just to keep the pressure rolling. Knockbacks are going to be huge, but a board as he going for a Malefic Rapture. No interrupts available for Crazy for a bit. Does set him with a fear as it's going to be a stun totem. Try to see if he can interrupt it. Yet another UA is up. Second stun to follow onto Lang though. It's Crazy looking for the recovery. Got himself plenty of healing as long as mana holds. But his mana may be kind of limited here. Eventually, his mana is going to get extinguished out of this one. Shadow Fury to follow. He's going to be trapped up on the totem, but Crazy is not in a great spot. I think it might be over. Big drain. Lang does get interrupted. Try to go for an interrupt with Crazy. Got himself an opportunity to heal, but Lang does end up taking it down with Drain life. This Affliction Warlock got quite a bit of a bite to him. The Shaman does fantastic, was able to burn through 3 people, but eventually those cooldowns as well as the dampening does end up catching up with you. Duel is going to be up next. Lang trying to see if he can back up out of there. Port to follow. Needs to get his dot established onto the Monk at all if possible. He doesn't have a Dark Glare for a good bit, so he's kind of limited what he can do. Walls available, so now potentially could be a good time to get all your dots up and running. Drain life in order to establish a bit of a shield as he goes in for a sacrifice into a fear spam onto Duel. Just trying to see if he can control the Monk as best possible. Does he have a Mortal Call? He may need one. Mortal Call does come out. Soul Rod to follow. Full dots are up on a Duel. That's where Lang, I don't know what you could do in this situation. Drain Soul to follow. Wait, maybe Duel could be going down. No more karma available. This guy actually might just be down for the count. Lang trying to go for a port. Fist of Fear flying in. Drain life trying to establish a shield, but as he's trying to build up a shield of Drain life, the touch death comes through. Even if the shield was established, I think it just would have been over. My goodness, the Neck is going to be up next. It's going to be a bit of a match neck to neck as Duel still is burning with those dots. Kill shot is just going to do it, man. Actually, not even kill shot, just the dots as well as the pet taking him out. And Neck is going to be up next versus Kragar. That's really started the start of the arena, but kind of close, sort of. He's just trying to see if he can show off some of the duels for his stream as well while competing at the same time. So kind of understand it from that regard. Neck goes in for a bit of a disarm to Kragar, stun right after as Kragar clutches that trinket very, very close to him, charges in towards Neck. Perfect opportunity for Neck to just go for a defensive. He needs something. Dampening is super, super high, and Kragar has the cards on his side. Neck needs to find a way to get the fate on his side. Does go for a juke onto Kragar, still kind of in a bad spot. Needs to go for a self-warlock heal, potentially might need to use it. It's going to be charged by the warrior, just in a big ice kid taking him out. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was a rough one. Crazy does go in, slamming 3 out of the game. He heals for more than he does damage in this game as well. Kragar does end up getting himself a kill, and just about everybody but like one person in Team Kragar, I think, got a chance to play there. Oh my goodness, let's get us going for another one, yeah? Oh, no mas, no mas, no mas. I think right now it's going to be Alex and Jayhawk next, yeah?